What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. On today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to figure out your positive access point, which from here on forward, we're just going to say your PAP. We're also going to go over the importance of knowing what your positive access point is. So guys, make sure to hit that like button. Please consider subscribing. Like 60% of you guys are not subscribed. And I've had a lot of people request this video in particular, especially you, David. I'm shooting this one just for you because you've been asking me, and I'm gonna make it happen for you. All right, so if you like the jersey I'm wearing in this video or in any of my videos, coolwick.com, use promo code Napoles10. That'll get you 10% off your entire order. Down below in the description, there should be a link where you can order anything bowling related, the bowling balls, the tools, the pencil, everything. There's the balls that these balls are sitting on is by a company called DH Lab. Link also down below in the description. All right, so the first thing that we're going to go over is what even is your PAP? What even is your positive access point? In a nutshell, your PAP is the axis in which your bowling ball rotates when you throw the ball. That's like the simplest way that I can try to explain that to you. Why is it important? The reason that knowing your PAP is so important is because when you go to lay out your bowling balls, you guys can see here an undrilled bowling ball. This is a Rotogrip Magic Gem that I want to drill. But before I drill it, I have to know what my PAP is because the layouts are all based on the pin to PAP, pin to the positive access point. The distance in that, you have to know what your PAP is. So on today's video, we're gonna go over how to figure out your PAP, and in the next video, we're gonna go over how to lay out your bowling ball using your positive access point. If you don't know what your PAP is, it is literally impossible to lay out your bowling ball. It is just a guess. I don't care what anyone says. There's no such thing as an educated guess. There's no such thing as my pro shop operator knows the way I bowl. There's literally no such thing. If you don't know your PAP, if your pro shop doesn't know your PAP, then laying out your bowling ball is a complete guess, and they shouldn't be doing that. All right, so the tools that you're gonna need. Now, I don't expect you guys to own these tools, the tools in front of me. I don't expect you. What you should do is go into your local pro shop, ask them, hey, can I borrow your tools? I promise to bring them back. You know, this Prosect is mine. I left my armadillo at home, super embarrassing. So shout out to K&K inside of Sam's Town. The pro shop operator let me borrow the armadillo. So this is what you need. You need a Prosect, quarter scale, whatever you want to call it, you know, same thing. You're gonna need an armadillo, very important. You're gonna need a grease pencil. You're gonna need a piece of tape, 3/4 inch, preferably cut in half. You're gonna need a bowling ball that is already drilled so that you can measure your PAP. And then of course, you're gonna need an undrilled bowling ball for when you eventually lay out the bowling ball. So this is what we're gonna do when we get on the lane. I am going to throw this attention star as many times as it takes for me to throw a ball that I consider a really, really good shot. And you have to be honest with yourself. If you throw it bad, wipe the oil off and remeasure, because this is the important thing. So once you throw that really, really good ball, you're gonna take this arm, and I'm gonna show you guys, I just wanna explain to you the process ahead of time. Once you throw that really good ball, you're gonna take this armadillo, and you can see that these have lines here. You're gonna try with this side facing this way. You're gonna try to line up your oil rings, that first ring, to this armadillo as best you can, so that that line is straight up and down with your oil ring, wherever it is. Then you're gonna take your grease pencil and mark this spot right here. And once you have that spot marked, you're gonna take your piece of tape, you're gonna put it on that pencil mark, then you're gonna throw another ball. And the goal is to have that tape not move almost at all off your hand. And if you do, that is gonna be your positive access point. Then you're gonna measure it, and I'll show you how to do that. Actually, I'll show you after we get our PAP perfectly measured. So we'll see you here on the lanes. All right, so I'm on the lanes now, and I'm gonna throw a shot with this attention star until I throw a really good one off my hand. And when I do, I am not gonna wipe the oil off the ball at all. We're gonna go straight back to that desk where the armadillo is and the grease pencil. All right, so I'm gonna line up and I'm gonna try to play the middle part of the lane. I'm not trying to throw a strike, just a really good shot off my hand. And I play the middle part of the lane because that's where all the oil is. Yeah, again, I'm not really trying to throw a strike, but that was a good shot. So now I'm gonna take this to the back. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my grease pencil and I'm gonna find this first oil ring, because this is a a reactive ball, so it is going to absorb pretty fast. So I'm looking for that first flare mark with the ball. So you can see that is my first flare ring, and you have to be quick because the ball will soak up the oil. All right, so that's the first flare ring. So now I'm gonna put the armadillo on the ball, and I'm just gonna try to find, oh, that one is close. Let me see. No, definitely not. So it's gonna be this one for sure. All right, so you can see here, that oil ring that we marked is right there on that. So now we're gonna take this pencil mark, we're gonna scribe it just like that. Okay, so now we can see it there. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab this piece of tape and we're gonna put it right over that mark. Okay, so now we're gonna go onto the lane and throw a shot and see if right off our hand, this tape mark stays stable, and if it doesn't, then we're gonna have to remeasure. All right, so now you can see I have the tape on the ball right where my positive access point measurement was, okay? Now we're gonna throw a shot. And listen, this is not gonna be something that you're gonna get very first try right away. There is gonna be some trial and error, and hopefully for the sake of this video, this is just gonna be it right away. And I can kind of tell off my hand if it's gonna be good or not, or if it's gonna be my PAP or not, but if not, I will double check on the camera. All right, so let's throw a shot here. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to keep it, or actually I should have just tried to throw a strike, but you can see that right off my hand. I'll do my best to try to slow it down so that you guys can see it. Right off my hand, that spot was stable before it started rolling. So that tells me that where that tape is, that is my positive access point. So now we're gonna go back to the table and measure it to see what that number is. All right, so I went back and looked at that last shot, and that was 100%. The first few X amount of feet through the lane, it was very, very stable before it started to spin. So now, the armadillo shell we are done with. Now this is where the prosect comes into play. And also, you guys also need to know what your span is, because it's gonna be very, very important, because your PAP distance is gonna be from the center of your span. So for me, my span from the center of the thumb to the center of my bridge is 4 inches, right? So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna cut this in half, right down the middle, okay? And then from the center of my bridge, I'm gonna go down 2 inches. So you're gonna cut your span in half. So center of my grip is gonna be, let's mark it here. More or less right there. Well, actually, sorry, cut to cut is 4 inches. I do apologize. From my center of my thing to here is about 5 1/8 inches. So it's gonna be 2.5 plus 1/8. So 2.5 plus 1/8, or plus 1/16, sorry, is gonna be right here. So this right here is going to be my center of grip. So I'm gonna take this tape off. And the beauty about the tape is that it should leave behind that original PAP mark that we had there. So now we're gonna make it nice and big so that we can see it. Now we're gonna draw a line from our center of grip. Make sure it's nice and straight. Okay, make sure it's the spine of the prosect is right through that line. We're gonna draw a line straight through, just like that. Now we're gonna get to our PAP line. Again, put the spine right on that line. Get to that center of our PAP. We're gonna draw another line, just like that. So now we're gonna figure out how many inches over by how many inches up is my PAP. Your PAP might be straight across, your PAP might be down, and this is for one-handed bowlers. I apologize for the two-handers. So I'm gonna put the 0 right on that line. We're gonna measure. So my PAP here is going to be 5 15/16 over, so almost 6 inches. So 5 15/16 over, and then we're gonna measure this up by a 1/2 inch up. So now when I go to lay out my bowling balls, and I give it to my pro shop guy, or if I'm gonna lay them out myself, or however you guys are gonna do it, I'm gonna know that my PAP is 5 15/16 over by a 1/2 inch up. And this is the only way to lay out your bowling ball. So now, for example, if I take my PAP to my pin, this is about a 4 3/4 inches pin to PAP. And that's a big deal. Knowing that is a big deal, so that you know where in your arsenal everything is going to be. So 5 15/16 over by a 1/2 inch up is my positive access point. We're gonna see you guys on the next video where I'm gonna show you guys how to lay out your bowling ball using this positive access point. We're gonna be laying out this magic gem. I'm thinking a nice little pin down layout, and we're gonna go through all of that information with you guys. Let me know down below in the comments, did you find this information useful? Why not? Let me know down below in the comments, and if you wanna see more videos like this, we will definitely make that happen. We'll see you next time.